Hey, Brad. So it is that special time the young watch's life when they get restored. Or in this case, just functionally restored. Cosmetically, we don't need a thing. That's a beauty. That is a beauty. Just enough wear to be wearable. It's not a safe queen. Beautiful loom. It's a goodie. Okay, so I'm not really anticipating much of anything funky special. The base stuff should do it, but we'll find out when I get in. Okay, got the original crystal out and all that other kind of stuff. One thing it's always fun to see, this is a late 6105, relatively speaking, 1975. And the dial, the fill on these, on the loom plots, changed over time. At the beginning it was big grain and pretty low. It sat down pretty low in the wells, and then later on it sort of changed. Sometimes it'd be rumply, sometimes it'd be perfectly smooth, but as you got later they tended to overfill, and you'd get these sort of overruns here. And people sometimes, they not complain about them, but people get confused and they think that maybe this was a reloom. Absolutely not. That's what they look like stock. These late ones, that's what you see. That is stock. Got some nice gruck here, but I've certainly seen worse. Yep, that's what good looks like, with a beautiful matte satin frosting on the top of the markers. You can see the nice clean silver paint on the chapter ring marks. That's nice. That's nice. Okay, I'm going to flip it over and get into the movement. By the way, the center wheel cannon pinion connection is pretty worn. It's real loose. I can tighten that up, just FYI. This, it's no servicing marks inside the case back, and it took a little bit of oomph to get the case back off, actually. The original case back seal is just, oh boy, not only is it flat, it's hard as plastic. Okay, I'm gonna have to work on that to get that out. There's your 6105B movement. We got some wear on this plate right here. I might have to work on trying to get this. Yeah, it's got some shifting going on. I can feel it going click, 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 click. And you can see beginning of wear around the edge of the barrel there, so the mainspring arbor's tipping over. No, you can actually see the plate wear here as well on the secondary, underneath the train bridge on the main plate. Oh, yeah, and over there. Okay, so I'll do what I can to tighten up that, tighten up this. Okay, let me get in there and take it apart. Took a little bit of work, but I got underneath the case back seal. It's not quite full plastic yet, but it's getting there. It's getting there. It's been in there a long, long time. It does not feel like coming out. But you have to just persuade it, and then out we come. There's the old one. There it is. Oof. Yikes. Yeah, we got some dust going on. Also the lower, I mean, we already knew this, but lower mainspring arbor port is, you can see the whole thing is shifting. It means the top is worn as well, but that is no surprise. None at all. You can see some of the dirt here came from the winding bridge, the pivot sits right above this, and that stuff gets right in there. Okay, let's keep pushing. Okay, we can see the train here now. So you've got your escape wheel, third wheel, fourth wheel pinion. And that's your hacking lever, sitting as it is on the winding pinion there. You can see a lot more of the wear on the edge of this, of the mainspring barrel. I'll go through and check all this stuff out, and once we get this clean, I'll see how the lash is doing. Look at the wear and see if the wheels are bouncing around. They typically do. I usually have to do some cleanup on that. It's always nice when, you know, the bushings aren't terribly worn, but that's the exception. Look at this stuff all over. There's our hacking lever. And there that is. Happy hacking lever. And let's pull this center wheel, cock or bridge or whatever you want to call it. Gimme. Always with the whacking. Okay, let's see now. Okay, nothing remarkable there. This is the fun part. Oh, whoops, dropped a screw over there. Let's get that out of there. Come on. There we go. Whee. Yeah. Yeah. Darn it. Let's see. Come on. Whew. Okay. It's dirty. I'll have to say that. And that clearly is not happy because this is not just, there's a little bit of green corrosion in here, just a hair, not just this S2 lubricant, but some other stuff. So it might have gotten just a titch of moisture inside. Okay, well, now it's time to do the next thing. This is your dial ring. Goes over the movement. We are going to need to replace this. See all the cracks? All gone. Happens to these sometimes. I'm not quite sure why, but they start to break and they just keep breaking. That's junk. That's okay. I've got other ones. Okay, apologize in advance if you hear screaming. All the kids are home and the two girls are fighting, as they always do. Anyway, forgive my dirty fingers because it took some real work to get this crown apart. This is one of the ones, there are a few variants. This is one of the ones with the really thick sealing washer, and so it just fought me and fought me and fought me. But I did get it out. Thankfully, I have a few tricks up my sleeve, and I was able to get it out. Boy, but it did not want to come. And there's a part of the keeper lip, but that doesn't matter. There's more than enough, and I will reform that as soon as I can, as soon as this is all clean. There's your original seal, which is, damn it, just as hard as plastic. We have to get this going. There we go. Yeah, working with dirty watches is pretty dirty. Come on, you come out of there. Yeah, so there's your original crown seal. Has not seen the light of day in a very, very long time. We get some of this spacer material out of there. Let's see if I can get the interior spacer out. It might want to come, it might not, I'm not sure. That little thing in there, that comes out too. I want to get that out. So there they are, the four pieces that make up a 6105 crown. That's the little spacer thing that goes down on the bottom. I'm not quite sure why Seiko did this, but darn it, sorry for the screaming. There must have been some reason. But anyway, there they are. So that's junk, and I've got a new one that'll go in, and that's your original stem. And you can see the remains of the glue on there that glued these things in place to make sure they stayed put, and that's it. Okay, going forward. Almost at the end of the day, though. Well, I am definitely at the end of the day, but everything is out of the cleaner. Good to go. Just got it right out. There's your lower mainspring arbor jewel, but it's late, and I'm gonna leave it all be. We'll come back tomorrow and start fresh. Okay, and now it is time to get back to it. Let's do this thing. Look at how nice and shiny it is. Isn't that nice? Look at the cleanliness of the metal. That's so cool. Always nice to see. That's why having the right tools is important. Have a cleaner that really does the job. Shiny. Okay, here we are. This actually took a lot of work to achieve. There were a few things. Your center, your jewel for the fourth wheel. I'm looking for it here. Where is it? Is that it? Yeah. That is the bushing for your upper fourth wheel. It was right there. It is bad, so I replaced it with a jewel. Also, the hairspring on your original balance was all kinds of tweaked, and I was getting all this noise and shuffle, and I couldn't get it to settle down. It was a lot of work, and I mean hours of work to try to get the hairspring to sit flat and do what it was supposed to do, and I still was just getting funky numbers. So I eventually just punted, and I replaced your balance. So now we're getting decent numbers, and it's clean, and I can move forward. I also had to adjust the jewel for the center wheel, lower center wheel. Also, your cannon pinion was bad. So we had, we have some extra stuff that we need to address, but it's now running. So here we go. The watch, I think the original owner took very good care of it, but the water never got in. He never took it into water, but he wore it a lot, and we're seeing the side effects of that now, but everything is better. Okay, now I'm gonna flip it over and go back into doing it. Okay. Okay, here is your crown back together. Here's the old seal. You see, it's that old hard plastic thing. This is the new crown. This is the new seal is inside there, and it's just so nice to be able to do this and have it turn out so nicely. And so, I mean, for the most part, unless you really look closely, you can't really tell that anything happened, and that's what we want. Oh, you had also asked about the condition of the pin in the case. The pin is perfectly fine. You can see it right there. Looking real good. Nice and sharp. And then when we go and we drop the now complete stem assembly in onto the case, I mean, it locked before, but it locks perfectly now. Because your bottom edges of the crown are nice and sharp. You've got a good locking pin. No problems at all. Awesome. Okay, so that's that. We had a fair amount of stuff we needed to do. As I said, we got a bad cannon pinion. We had bad mainspring. That got replaced here. We have a bad balance. Oh, the balance is over there. You'll get the balance back. I had to replace the bushing for the fourth wheel in the train bridge. Usual thing with the jewels for the lower mainspring arbor port. I had to tweak some stuff, change some stuff, but those are the things that were the deadly pieces. But I saved your center wheel, and the rest of it is there and complete. And so I'm going to put it together and move on. Okay, so here it is in the nice natural light. We can see it. This is your original crystal. Nothing wrong with it. It's a nice flat top type 4. What I think of as a type 4. Nice silky smoothing, clicking. Nice alignment. Movement, of course, hacks as it should. And we can adjust the date. I think. I never know what the date is. Anyway, there it is. Gosh, what a lovely watch. Just basically perfect. Exactly what we want to see. That original loom and just enough wear to be respectable, but absolutely wearable. That's a nice piece. Fewer and fewer you see like this anymore. Whoever this owner was, boy, it's crazy. The watch was just about perfect cosmetically, but he sure did wear it a lot. Anyway, okay, let's move on to the next one. Okay, here we go. We got the second one. Rare to see them like this. I never see inserts like this. Okay, so the number one thing is that your crown threads are jacked up. Looks like the case tube threads might be okay. They're a little rounded over, that's for sure. But I will look at that and we'll see what we can do. Let's get to it. Okay, I have the hands off and everything else like that, and I flipped it over. Usual thing. Well, I don't know if it's usual, but it's dirty. Whoever installed this battery, big old fingerprint right there. It'd be nice if things were cleaner, but what are you going to do? Little flakes of junk and crap. But it's a runner. Those definitely look a little rounded down. I'm going to check that here in just a second. Hang on a second. Let's see now. Come on. Okay, I'm going to pull that. This is a new old stock crown right there. Let's pull this thing. Okay. And let's pull this brand new crown that we know for a fact has excellent seals. I'm sorry, excellent threads. Yes. I'm gonna have to clean those threads up a bit. It seems like it starts to screw down, but it's there's the click. Those threads are a little mashed up, so I'm gonna need to break up my tool set that I made. I made a tool to straighten those, clean those threads out a little bit, and see if I can make that fit a little better. Okay, here we are back together. One thing I forgot to mention is that your rest washer for the battery strap is missing, so I'm gonna have to make you one. Those are actually pretty rare. It would go right here normally, but yours is gone. But I can make another one, and so I will be doing that. I'm looking at the crown threads, by the way, on your case, and they're a little mashed. I am getting a crown to screw down. It's not smooth all the way. I'm gonna have to work on it, but I'm working on it. So let's start. Okay, I've got the back half of the movement well, everything's all cleaned. This is assembled now. And you can see, if you look here very carefully, you can see the light shifting. You can see that gear moving right there. So it's running. Here's that rest washer I made for you. I'm going to screw this thing back on, and then I'm going to flip it over and do the calendar side, and then we're going to put on the time grapher and see what happens. So I haven't done anything to this. I just finished assembling the front end of the movement, and so the movement is complete. I haven't touched this. So, I mean, that's a pretty good place to start, but let's see if we can get it a little tighter. What do you say? A little tighter. But man, that's a good place to start. See if that does anything. I might not have even moved it, honestly. Maybe I did. That time I did move it. I could feel it. Let's try that again. Look at that. Okay, let's see what's happening. Well, sometimes it's a long road, and sometimes it's just a hop over the fence. Well, I might have gotten it. Okay, so I'm going to leave this be. I'm actually going to go. Oh, I'm not at the end of the day today. This has gone pretty smoothly, so I am going to assemble the watch, and we'll see where it's at. But so far, 1/100th of a second per day is pretty gosh darn accurate. Okay, I do find as these tend to run in, they tend to start losing more time. So I'm probably gonna have to take it back up again, but I'm gonna let it be until I get time. We see where that sits. Let's put it together. Okay, it took me some time to do. The threads in the case were pretty well mashed, but through work, successive rounds of cleaning, manually opening the threads, using the tool I made to do it, and trying a variety of different new old stock crowns, some of them older, some of them newer, a couple old used ones that were still in good condition, I was able to get it to the point that the crown now screws down all the way. Something you're going to want to be careful with. Those crown threads are they're a little banged up. Okay, you want to be real careful when you are screwing down the crown. Let's pretend that we've got a watch here. Turn the crown backwards till you feel that click. And then turn it forwards gingerly. And if you feel any resistance, any pushback, stop. Don't force it. If you feel any resistance, stop, pull it back out again, and feel for that click. There's that click, and then we go forward. There. Okay, so that's the thing. I've saved the crown tube threads. But that's it. If they get mashed over again, though, I don't know what I'll be able to do. My assumption is at that point we would have to start looking for a replacement case, which we don't want to do. We saved this case, let's keep it. Okay, Brad, so there we go. Look at that, aren't they beautiful? Very, very, very pleased, and you should be too. You have great taste in watches, and these were fun to work on. That's a beautiful example. I swear it's the nicest one I've seen. Super cool. So you have, you're going to have sorry for all the wiggling. You're going to have a couple packets of parts here. One is for this watch, and then the 6105 actually has two. This one has the old mainspring in it, and here are the other dead parts for that watch. And there's your strap, but these are ready to go. That's about it. Okay, thanks, man. I appreciate it.